Today on DadandCat, I've got my hard hat on because I built one of the most difficult things that I have ever built in Minecraft, and it is awesome. But first, I want to show you guys, I showed you guys off the nether tunnel last week. Started here, we got the village of Bree represented and our main kind of Middle Earth flag here in the tunnel. But then, I've added on. So last time we built the Golden Hall of Metal Seld over at Rohan, which is our villager trading hall. And so what I've done is, obviously I've added some glass and taken it all the way down. I might replace these top blocks just with something dark, consistent all the way down. Haven't really decided, but I decided to kind of go just with a fun, like, color palette, rather than kind of replicating, like, the windows or whatever of this one. So we have the colors that I used in the Golden Hall, and of course, the flag, which I think is really one of the tougher things that I actually put together. This green horse banner looking like the flag of Rohan. So yeah, guys, I said I was gonna do it. And I actually did it. I added the next thing. So that means the next video, I'm gonna have something really fun to add in that section. But we gotta go home. So here at the village of Bree, underneath our storage system that we have here in the brewery room next to the Prancing Pony Inn, there is a little secret that I've set up. Although it's not about to be a secret for much longer. Some of you may have seen this door on previous episodes and wondered what it was. It's not much, but down here we have our Rings of Power list, which we had not updated yet since our last couple builds. So the rule was we had to do 9 builds for the Kings of Men, so 9 related to the men folk of Middle Earth, 3 for the elves, 7 for the Dwarf-lords, and something for the evil ones. I still know I'm gonna do that. That just seems too scary. But we've actually done not 1, but 2 for the men. So 1, we have the village of Bree. Village of Bree. And 2, we have Metal Seld of Rohan. So we got 2 on men, but we've got a bunch of others. And one of the ones that has kind of troubled me, I would say, is 7 dwarf builds. Oh my gosh, I hate being underground. But you know, today, I've got my hard hat on. I'm ready. And so we are gonna get to work on something for the dwarves. All right, first, let me show you guys footage. In the very first week of the season, when I found what was gonna become this base area, I discovered this amazing cave. And by amazing, I meant terrifying and scary and crazy, crazy tall. So basically, this cave that I found that I just showed you guys is basically the inside of this mountain. In fact, hidden up in some of the corners of the cave is actually the calcite from the bottom side that you can see there, which meant it was a lot of work to plan and think about how to attempt to build this thing. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's go check out what the finished product is. If you haven't guessed already, I was thinking dwarves. I was thinking metal and heat and lava and fire. And that meant I was thinking one of my favorite things to build on any Minecraft server, an iron farm. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, as you can see here, we made some flags for the dwarves, and I really liked how these turned out, these banners. The bottom almost looks like someone's beard with like some, some little streaks in it, but just cool. And of course, I did 2 different designs, and I liked them both. One with the regular kind of darker gray pattern, and one with the black. And yeah, I like it, especially because I feel like the black here stands out really good against some of the grayer things like stone, and the gray stands out good against things like deep slate. So that I think having 2 flags is going to be really cool, and we can use this because, after all, we have 7 dwarf builds to build this season. Of course, we've got copper here and the deep slate, all polished deep slate down here in the floors. And here it is, the iron farm. So when I looked at this cave, I was like, man, you could build an amazing iron farm, but what if we paid tribute to our dwarven heroes of old by making a statue of one? And let that be the thing to, oh, there goes one of our buddies. 2 of them, there we go. This is actually a double iron farm. So let's go check out, I like how I just wasted a rocket, because I actually, right near the end of this build, yeah, I put in an elevator from the bottom, but here we go. We're checking it out. You can see here the copper. You can see our dwarven hero there pouring it to carefully forge things below in the lava using the iron that has been smelted. Of course, Minecraft iron you can't really combine into so many things. And of course, I've got some other things I'd like to add. Like I'd really like to add some chains, perhaps going up from these platforms to something up above. But I did hit a limit of really how much I could get done this week in order to have this video out for you guys. So in case you're wondering how the iron farms work, they combine several of my favorite things. One is they're an automatic farm, so you can build it and then you just come and hang out here and it produces stuff for you. But another fun thing about them is that they require both passive and enemy mobs. And of course, in this case, the mobs that they require are up here. So let's have some scaffolding. Let's go up here and see. So I actually hid the villagers and the zombie in these pillars. So over there, we have the same thing going on. I can fly by there in a minute. And so the villagers go in there, the zombie scares them, they produce a golem, and of course, spawn-proofing a cave is not easy. It's not like I built this thing out over the ocean. In fact, I think I actually forgot to remove a block here. Where's my stone? There we go. That was an interesting lag. There we go. Now the zombie has a nice unobstructed view of those villagers, so they can be scared a little more frequently. So basically what I had to do here is you look here, all these spots, and it's 6 up, 6 down from where the villagers are, as well as 10 in every direction from that center point. All these blocks that you see here, the stone that's still here had to be slabbed over in order to be spawn-proofed. And so, kind of funny story, I was moving the villagers in I had some rails and dirt sort of paths up here to get them in. And unfortunately, I wasn't recording it. And I walked outside when it was night, and there was a zombie right near there. And I was like, oh, I'll just capture him in the thing. And of course, because the rail was all automatically set to get the villagers into the columns, the zombie automatically went there too and started the iron farm, but started it a lot sooner than I was ready for. And so I basically had a big mess here where I was spawn proofing and dumping lava buckets on iron golems, all while both of the farms were active. So you can see here, we've got our people running around scared. And of course, same thing. We've got these slabs on top of all of these little nooks and crannies of everything. So try to preserve as much of the original cavern shape over here as possible, which is kind of my thinking. But I did have some more ideas. And so maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below, what would you add to this room? Should I leave it more just kind of wild and open other than the main feature here, which I think looks pretty epic on its own. You know, should I add some stuff? I was thinking maybe add some columns of this polished deep slate, like in some of the corners with either like copper running down the middle of them as kind of a nice like corner post, or maybe have lava run down those just in some of the corners. Of course, we don't have equal height on every side, so that is something to watch out for. And sometimes I just fall down. So down here we have some fun stuff going on. Of course, I sort of have the setup. Boy, those guys are really loud. To not only collect the golems and have them epically fall down into the lava, but these overflows. All right, I know some of you are already figuring it out. You can't actually have a dripstone cauldron lava, infinite lava source from flowing lava. So of course, when this falls all the way in here, this would do nothing. So what I had to do was right above this block here, I put an infinite lava source in each of these cauldrons as well, so that it would actually produce the renewable lava down here. I did not get much of a smelter built. I've got my two furnaces and buckets right here. But down here, of course, we have where the iron comes in through these hoppers. And of course, got a couple of these, the Impulse SV single item sorter that's separating out the iron from the poppies. The poppies are going into a composter, and there we go, turning into bone meal. Got a nice little glass here. I just decided to add a little window. And our iron is loading up here. And let me show you guys, since I got this farm going last week, I haven't done a lot of lengthy AFK sessions in here, mostly just building. But this is what's in this side. And this, yeah, these are iron blocks, is what's in this side. So it is definitely producing probably more iron than I will ever need. Of course, I plan to use most of it for beacons, because we now have a mining world, and I want to be able to transport a beacon and the iron blocks, a couple stacks of those over to there to set up to, mine various things as I need them in the future without having to carve up all the beautiful natural scenery over here in our area. This was a lot of work, like polishing all this copper so that it didn't turn green on us. My thinking here was, and you'll see this kind of throughout the build, these areas down here are heavily trafficked. Of course, these ones have lava and heat on them constantly, so they shouldn't have too much rust and wear and tear. But because they're very accessible by our dwarven friends. But if you look way up there, that lava or that cauldron, is a little farther out of reach and has a tiny bit. You know what? I'm gonna use my elevator, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm so used to just flying straight up in this cavern after all the rockets that I've spent up here. This one has a little more rust because, of course, it is much farther out of reach than the copper down below. So there you go. There's a nice view from the top of what it all looks like with our sort of copper piping going around in the design down there. Of course, our flags we've got everywhere. This is my little my little hiding and storage room while I was building it, because I actually had to build a dirt pillar like straight out from here that I sort of had all my stuff on to work on. And that is what we did. Let me know what you think. I am super, super pleased at how awesome I think this turned out. I built some fun iron farms. My season 1 iron farm on Basement Craft was just a kind of a cool Savannah house that I really liked. It was one of my first builds that I kind of picked an aesthetic and went for it while trying to maintain the principles that make an iron farm work. My season 2 one, I really loved. It was actually an underwater iron farm, and you can check those out. The playlists of them are on this channel, but they're actually hosted still over on our regular DadandCat channel, because that's where they were originally posted. And of course, YouTube, you can't just, copy videos over from place to place. Well, all right, guys, this has been an amazing episode, and I'm so excited about that iron farm. Not only is it producing iron, but it looks so good, and I'm really happy about how it turned out, and that this cave that I found right here underneath this very mountain was so perfect for it. Next time, I think we're going to start work, maybe finishing up a few other projects that we have going on here, but I need to start building something for the elves. And of course, our elven friends have a few kind of key places and things. One of those is going to be, we have a new shopping district. Let me show you guys the site of that shopping district so you guys can get a feel for what might be coming on the next episode here of Lord of the Blocks here on the Cuppa Java SMP. All right, guys, we are here at the shopping district tunnel in the Nether, and I'm excited to show you guys where our server decided to put their shopping district. That's right. We are in an ancient city. Now, don't worry. There was a lot of work by various server members and a few wardens we had to fight to get this ancient city, especially get rid of at least all the shriekers and pretty much all the sensors as well here in the city to make it warden-proof. But we have some exciting things. Up there, this strange-looking water portal there is actually the portal to our mining world, which is used by the server members for resources and gets reset about every month. So that way you can get lots of logs and sand and other things without just tearing up the entire world that we're on here, and potentially even creating a lot of lag for the server to remember. We also have at least one shop that's gone in. Looks there's a prismarine shop, which will come in handy because I think that's going to be in one of my elven builds coming up. So I'll definitely need to save up some diamonds and be able to afford some of that beautiful, I think especially dark prismarine is going to go on that. But we have claimed a spot back here, and if you caught my live stream over on Twitch, subtle plug, twitch.tv/DadandCat, usually every Tuesday, for sure we have a stream, but also sometimes Mondays and Saturdays. We started work on this bookstore, which our goal is to sort of basically create the base of 2 trees from the area of Lothlorien, which is a famous golden wood that the elves lived in Middle Earth. And we're going to create this and move all of our books that we're selling over on that tiny book stall near spawn, move them up here to a much better and permanent home, a tree here in the ancient city. So I'm really excited about how that's going to look as we get closer there. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I had to smelt some things, so I've sort of got a whole sloppy shulker monster workstation thing going on over here. But that will be coming. My goal is to finish that for the next episode of Lord of the Blocks, whenever that is. Of course, some of you guys may have noticed I sort of have been splitting a couple episodes over here on the Cuppa Java, and then doing a couple episodes over on the Basement Craft server. We'll see how that goes as we get towards the holidays and what I'm able to get done with work and life and all those other things that come up. But my goal is to still at least have one episode out each week. It may not be a perfect 2 and 2 from each server here in the days ahead. Especially, I've got a lot of building projects to do over here, so I may have to throw in an extra episode from time to time. But let me know in the comments. Do you care that I keep them pretty even, or do you mind if we get a little bit extra of some of these episodes? But anyways, I'm gonna say goodbye now from the Ancient City. Be sure, if you enjoyed this, and especially if you want to see more builds like that, I'm gonna say an unbelievable iron farm that I built today. Be sure to subscribe here on DadandCat Minecraft, and until next time, I will see you all later. Bye!